helping you to weather good and bad economies without putting retirement on hold. This is the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo. Ken and his son Nick know that creating a comprehensive financial plan can align your hard-earned life savings with your retirement goals. Consider them your retirement architects. Now, the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo.
For many savers, doing that, saving for retirement, that's not the problem. It's knowing how to turn those savings into income in retirement. In order to do that, there are a few critical questions that you need to be able to answer, and that's what we're going to work through today. These 6 questions that, Ken, you have come up with. So let's start from the top and work our way through.
Yeah, you know, Nick, it was that worry about paychecks, and I made a list of questions for us today. So you're getting the first one. How does someone figure out how much they can safely spend each year in retirement?
That's the easy answer for me. Having a plan. You want to see what you have coming in, whether it's Social Security, pensions. Do you have a 401k? Do you have a Roth? Because you got to factor in taxes too, because that could really factor in how much of income you can pull. And you want to make sure to have a low % return, kind of make sure that your money lasts throughout retirement. But I mean, I've seen it in so many different instances, even with taxes. I mean, I have a client that they were spending $5,000 in taxes because they're only pulling from their IRA. And they had a really good blend of accounts, Roth, non-retirement accounts. We got them down from $5,000 of taxes to actually $0 in taxes the last 3 years. It was a huge one for them. And that gave them a little extra money to spend her retirement. And now she spends a little extra on her grandchild. And that's what she loves to do. So yeah, doing that and doing a few extra fishing trips for her husband. So, but I don't want to answer all the questions. So I'm going to have my dad answer the next one to steal his questions.
You're stealing my questions.
But is the 4% rule still a reliable starting point for retirement income, or has that changed?
I could go back to what you said, Nick, and just tell people, you just need a plan. But in reality, the 4% rule, we never liked it. Really what we did was we built it based on someone's, wants and dreams, and work backwards from there to see if they could get through retirement. Because the reality of it, some of us will only have to draw 1, 2, 3% from our accounts. Some of us will have to draw more. And a lot of times the plan doesn't work. And someone needs to know that. They need to know where they stand. So I'm going to say it all starts with that retirement checkup. And Nick, I forgot the questions that I put together since you stole my list now. But this one's for you. Does it matter which accounts retirees pull money from first when creating income?
Oh, that definitely matters. And it's another thing, looking at the tax sense of it. So I had a client that has some major required minimum distribution issues when he gets to 73 years old. And this is me not picking on accountants. Accountants love to help your taxes yearly. They want to make you pay the least amount of taxes yearly. And most of them don't like to look long-term. They don't look at your retirement accounts, and that's not their job. They're tax preparers, and they're trying to get you the least amount of taxes that year. And looking at his plan, I told him, like we said, he has a major tax issue with required minimum distributions. He should be pulling more from his IRA right now rather than his non-retirement account, his Roth. So in different senses, depending on short versus long-term effects for a person, it really does matter where you're pulling the money from. Because for him, if he was just pulling from his Roth and non-retirement account and he got to 73, he'd have a major tax issue. Plus, you got Medicare costs, Medicare Part B and D go up, depending on your income level. So you have a lot of things to look at when you're building on a plan. So it really does matter where you're taking the money from. So got to keep going back and forth and steal his questions. So, Dad, why does the timing of market ups and downs matter more after you retire than before?
Oh, think about this. When you're working, that paycheck just keeps showing up. Unless you get laid off. We hope no one gets laid off. But the thing is that paycheck keeps coming in. So you're not counting on those accounts. And let's just pretend someone's 100% in the market in their retirement account, and they go into retirement, and we could think of 08, and the market falls apart and drops back then, I think it was 52% that it went down, Nick. And when it went down, people were afraid to draw from their account. They actually stopped doing the things they wanted to do in retirement. A lot of people didn't recover from that because they went right to cash and never went back in the market. So setting yourself up properly heading into retirement, I like to call it a retirement portfolio at that point, so that you always have a place to draw from no matter what's going on with the market or the economy. You don't want to put retirement on hold. Don't let the market dictate your retirement. Nick, I got a question for you. This is the fun one that we always talk about. How can taxes and Medicare premiums reduce a retiree's real spendable income?
I feel like I'm getting all the tax questions, and I love it because tax planning is one of my favorite things. Actually, probably my favorite thing to do as a financial advisor. For that too. And it gives me actually a perfect example. I was just talking to someone yesterday actually about this, and he has a huge construction project going on at his house. He's single. He wants to fix up his whole house to exactly like how he likes it because he has the funds to do it. But he really wants to know, where is it going to affect me and how to officially do it? So it's a $175,000 construction project on his house. Huge number. And so he's already at RMD age. So what we're looking at is how do we keep you in the same tax code or jump you up? And with $175,000, it might be paying a little extra tax, unfortunately. But where are the jumps to give him the best advantage? So yeah, we did go up to the 24% tax bracket federally. And then we did have to jump up to the third bracket on Medicare, but it was making sure that he didn't get the unnecessary things. We're not taking all $175,000 out of the IRA. We're doing a mix of taking some out of non-retirement accounts and the IRA to balance his tax and Medicare, so he doesn't have a huge issue down the road or gives himself a disadvantage. So that tax planning and Medicare planning is crucial, whether it's now, like I said, short versus the long-term effects. And then I'll give you one more question, Dad. What's the biggest income mistake people make in the first few years of retirement?
Not planning. I hate to keep going back to planning, but you take a look at what, for an example, someone getting ready to retire, and they might have a few projects they want to get done around the house, and they're like, we'll just retire and we'll do those things, and didn't really put the numbers into it to figure it out. So to do some of those projects, let's just say they're high-end projects, and they got to pull a whole bunch of money out of those retirement accounts, drives up the tax rate. It just wasn't planned properly. If we can get a little head start and start to plan for some of those big things at the beginning of retirement, sometimes you can carve the money out a little bit differently to save money in taxes. I'll use the car example that we run into a lot. Clients sometimes will tell us they need a new car. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll have them take money in the prior year, let's just say December, and then go buy the car. And even if they take a loan, then in January, they take the rest of the money and they buy the car. And they actually, what they're doing is they're straddling 2 tax years. A lot of times they'll buy the car just in January because they took the money over 2 years. So you want to plan for those things. Taxes are huge. Why hand away extra money? Keep that money in your pocket. Don't give the government free money. So really where we like to start, and it's really when we're talking about income and getting someone set up for retirement, it's determine how much someone needs. And it's really looking backwards from their expenses. You take that information, find all their income sources. It could be 401ks, pensions, Social Security, build that plan, know those numbers, put that in front of someone. This way they're comfortable retiring. And not only that, you have to build that piece in. The market's not going to just keep going up and up and up. You have to make it so they could go through retirement without worrying about the market as much. So bad markets, they still do their things. Good markets, they still do those things. I know we already talked about that. So the big thing is it starts with the Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup. You could just visit us online at tfcheckup.com for yours, or click on the link below.
Investment advice offered through Tumolo Wealth Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Content contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice or for the purchase or sale of any security, insurance, or other investment product. Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here.